Hello, everyone, and welcome back for some more Stellaris bromance. This time in version 2.0 in the Apocalypse DLC. My name is Mal, and I am once again joined by Mickey, Sabouts, and Vanguard, and our new buddy who's joined us for this, Commissar Roach, who easily has the coolest name out of the bunch. How is everybody?
Good. Hello.
Good.
Hello.
All right, so Roach, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I am a person, yes.
Okay. You're not a mineral or a vegetable. No, I was just messing with you.
Maybe
no,
an insect.
But for those of you that maybe not familiar with Roach, he too is a strategy player. He plays a lot of Stellaris. He also plays, I would say, like Thinking Man role-playing games. As well.
We could say that, yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
he's got a similarly themed channel, so you should check him out when you get a chance. Of course, links for everybody will be below the description of the video. Okay, so we're really excited to be playing Stellaris 2.0. The game has, I think we can basically agree, I think, that they might as well have just launched Stellaris today. It's like a completely different game.
I know, it's a huge difference.
Yeah, it's Stellaris 2. Not
I don't think a
2.0.
single mechanic's
Yeah.
the same. It's
Right.
Yeah, more or less 80 to 90% of the game is another game now.
And we can't talk about we can't do a formal review. We can't say how much we like it. We're not allowed to do that right yet.
I will point out they added border boundaries. That makes me happy.
Yeah, they had
Oh yeah,
so
that
many
is
good.
good. I mean,
So many
technically,
quality
we
of life
could say
changes.
on a scale of 1 to 10 how much we've enjoyed the game. And that's not a review. That's just
That's
us
true.
applying a numerical
true.
value to our
That's
enjoyment.
True. That's true.
10.
Well, what do you guys think so far? As far as
Pirates
enjoyment
sucks.
level.
Enjoyment level 1 to 10?
Yeah.
Compared to before or just
Yeah,
an
yeah.
overall score?
Yeah, compared to before.
I'll give
Okay.
it an 8.
Yeah,
if before-
8.5.
8.5. Okay, this is us not reviewing it, just in case.
Yeah, no, this is just me. I always apply numerical value to my enjoyment.
Yeah.
to your enjoyment.
Before, I guess it was a 7, now it's a 9.5 for me.
Nice.
Oh, okay. All right. So what
So
we'll
Mal,
do here-
what is everything set up as?
Yeah.
Our galaxy? We've
Yeah.
got
So
choke points?
we'll go through that, and then since Apocalypse, not only is the game changed in 2.0, which is essentially the free update, then Apocalypse, which is an additional DLC that's releasing at the same time, adds in like world killers and additional.
It adds the Titans.
All kinds of stuff. Yeah, Titan ships and all kinds of things that you don't have to get, but it's pretty cool. So let's go through our setup, and then we'll jump in the game, and then as we go, we'll be exploring everything that's different in 2.0, because this is a great time for you to be playing Stellaris, because you basically didn't miss anything. Like, if you missed the first party, you can come to this one, and you'll feel welcome, because it's a new party. You can meet
Yeah, it's a
everybody
new
at
game.
once. It's a new game.
It's
All
a
right,
new
so we're
game.
going to do huge galaxy size, so 1,000 stars. We're going to do spiral, 4 arms, 15 AI players. We got 2 fallen empires. We've got 3 Marauder Empires. This is a new mechanic.
Pirates.
Yeah, they're actually like mercenaries, though, right? They're like
Yeah.
you can even hire them at a certain point, which is kind of cool. But this is a new. Also, the Marauders tie into the new mid game, right? They can
Yes.
form like a whatever. One becomes the Khan, and they all group up and try to smash everybody's face. It's kind of cool. I like that.
It's like a mongrel invasion in CK2.
Yeah,
Yes, yep.
that's the best way to describe it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Tech tradition cost, default, habitable worlds, primitive civilizations, all default. Crisis strength, we're doing at 0.75 because we are playing on very hard difficulty, so we actually want to have at least a fighting chance. Now, let's be clear about this. We'll just hopefully have a fighting chance.
Yeah, we don't want the end game to actually end the game.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
more...
Which happened in every series before
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
I
it did.
want to say that 0.75 is still more likely that it's going to end the game.
Probably.
But we have a chance. That's the point.
Right. Yeah. It's
As long as we can recognize the end game crisis.
What? Yeah. It's like to those that are about to die, we salute you. Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
mid-game start is going to be 2350. In-game start will be 2500. And then you can see here, very difficult. Advanced neighbors are off. We'll be clustered together. And then hyperlane density, we did some tests. And I do want to mention thank you to Paradox Studio, who gave us all a couple days of early access to get familiar with 2.0. So thank you very much to the dev team for that. And we've done some experiments. Awesome. They are awesome. We've done some experiments, and we think 0.75 is the best mix for hyperlane density. Somebody real quick want to explain that to the folks why?
Yeah, basically because you have a limited number of strongholds, that's star bases, and it's a new system, and you can choke point better if you do that. And everything we ever asked on our previous series, they just listen, and it's here now. You can do a defensive war using star bases, and they have a very huge battle power, so you can defeat a twice as strong enemy as you are just by holding them off on a star base. That's why we are doing low density hyperlanes, so it's more viable to choke point everything.
So yeah, it makes the galaxy more structured and
yes,
more like terrain and less like a web. You know.
Yeah, I think we should also go over the fact that it's the whole FTL system has been changed since the last
basically
since the last iteration.
Hyper drives now. The jump drives and warp drives are no more. That includes jump drives. Jump drives can only do hyperlane now. They just have a very low cooldown.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's everything we've wanted, because we've always turned on hyperlanes in our playthroughs, but we've never been able to really properly make defenses work, even though we've always tried to set up fortresses and everything in different systems and create choke points. It never worked like we wanted it to, but now
you can.
It's going to.
Yeah, just for guys that are not understanding everything we are saying, Starbase, there are 4 levels of Starbase. The last one is a Citadel. It can hold up to 26 or 28 defensive platforms. I don't remember exactly the number, but and 28. 28. Okay, so 28 platforms, and every single platform counts more or less like a battleship. So, and the star base itself is way more powerful than a Titan it is. So it's around 50k fleet power, and they also reduce the fleet size for everything else. So 50k battle power now, it's more or less 200k in the old game. So
you can't do the massive fleets anymore. You have to,
death stacks have been reduced and.
Yeah, I mean, they changed everything. It's a new game.
You should probably all just, if you don't know what we're talking about, just go and read the dev diaries, because it's highly documented in like 20 of them.
Which will link that too, probably.
You're gonna want to read it, because it's literally a whole.
But we're gonna the whole point though is that we are going to cover the 2.0 changes as we go through. So, and that'll be a huge part of this particular playthrough, will be us spending the time exploring the game alongside of all of you to make sure that what we have learned so far, that we're sharing that with you. All right, so guys, let's go ahead and jump in, and then we'll talk on the other side, okay?
Hold on, hold on.
Oh, what's up?
We forgot to say something. We changed the mid-game start year and the end-game start year by 50 years to the mid-game and 100 years more to the end-game. That's because we're playing on very hard. It's going to buy us more time to have a fighting chance against the end-game crisis. One way you can defeat the end-game crisis on extra hard difficulties is lowering the strength or increasing the time you have, so you can pick up the technology with the insane or very hard AI, so you have a fighting chance. You have the time you need to build a strong enough fleet to have a chance to defeat the endgame crisis.
And just for point of reference, if I remember correctly, very hard means that they're getting 75% of all resources more than us, and on insane, it's double. It's either double or triple the resources.
Yeah, it's double.
It's significant. All right, so we will catch you on the other side. We'll see you in game in just a second. Okay, stopped recording.
Okay, stop.
Awesome, perfect.
I can't stop mid.
Oh, you're good.
No, that's fine.
You want to just cut this part out, or?
Okay. No, they're gonna hear this. They're all gonna hear this.
Hey, whatever you want to do is fine. Okay, so, oh man, there's a lot to talk about on the other side of this.
Okay, just give me a second to see if my recording is fine. Just 1 second.
So exciting.
Okay, it's fine. Okay, we can start whenever you guys like.
Give me 1 second. I'm always the one that's a little bit slower.
Let me know when you want to start.
Everybody looking at their start spots?
Not yet.
Okay.
Well, we can't until I hit start. Well, here I can hit start.
Well, you can hit start. Just leave the game pause.
Yeah, I'll just leave it paused.
Okay.
Oh,
Just give me 1 second.
interesting.
Oh, also we forgot. Oh, so okay. I'm going to wait until everybody's recording to say that. Sorry. I was going to tell about the starting weapons. There's no starting weapons anymore. You start with all three of them.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, we can mention a lot of that. Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, awesome.
Yeah. That's everything they changed is awesome. Oh, they changed this. Awesome. They changed that. Oh, awesome.
I'm at the Galactic Core at what is that?
Tell the
9
the
o'clock.
clock.
Yeah.
9.
Oh wow, really? Ooh,
Wow, you're on the other side of the galaxy.
That's
At the
that's
Galactic
No.
Center.
No. Sorry. I'm stupid. I'm at 8 o'clock, but I'm not on Galactic Center. I'm on the left side.
Oh
I'm on
wow.
I'm on the left side also, but I'm on the left side of the Galactic Core, but I'm right at the Galactic Core.
Yeah.
Guys,
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not.
I'm 12 o'clock, as low as you can be.
Yeah, I'm 5 o'clock.
You're 5 o'clock
In the
Oh
center.
my god.
in the center, so we're all actually on the same side.
We're all on the center, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
9 o'clock central.
But we're on
arm.
different.
9 o'clock
9 o'clock.
central. Okay.
Okay, so you're just across from me. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
probably.
so we're all
So
about
here,
the same. We're
here,
all about
here,
in
and
the
here.
center.
We're basically all in the southeast quadrant. That's fine.
Cool.
That's
Yeah,
we're not
yeah,
too
yeah,
far off from each other.
No.
Or southwest quadrant, I mean.
Also no. I'm
Where
north.
are you at?
I'm 12 o'clock.
North.
I'm like.
But you're
dead,
you're center, right? You're near the
dead
center.
12 o'clock. The closest strand to the galactic center.
Yeah. So I know where you are. Yeah, I see right where you are. Right by that big stretch of
Well,
right by
here's
that big
here's a
stretch
question.
of hyperlink.
Are you
I
closer?
really like
are
it.
you are you closer to the Crossroads Nebula or are you closer to the Haraben Nebula?
Oh my god. The names.
The names.
Wait, how would I know that?
Just zoom in a little bit so the
right,
nebula names show up.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, the nebula way to the north? No, I am as close to the center as you can be. I'm 12 o'clock, keep going down until you reach the edge of the trade lane, the lane. The closest lane to the galactic center. That's where
Okay.
I am.
So
Yeah,
what?
I see, yeah.
Shigard Nebula?
Fairly close to Crossroads.
Yeah. I mean, we're definitely all pretty close.
I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I had a direct jump, which I don't, but if I had a direct jump, I would be 5 jumps from Crossroads. I'm very close to that one.
I really
Yeah,
like
we're
these
right next to each other.
hyperlanes.
Yeah, this is looking good.
This is nice.
Actually-
I love this hyperlane setup.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. There's some
I'm
nice
20
spots to cut off.
I'm 20 systems away from Crossroads.
Okay.
I mean,
That's
this is
kinda far.
this is really gonna be interesting. This is gonna be awesome.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just gonna start my stuff and I'll be good.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
here we go.
Give me
Okay.
1 second. Just 1 second.
Okay, recording.
For my audience, you're hearing the full uncensored version of the background
Yeah,
of this
I would
recording
probably
session.
include all of this as well. As we're trying
Yeah,
to
we
work
know-
out where we are.
We know you do, Mickey. All right, and
Yeah, it's kind of terrifying.
all right, I am also ready.
Bruno, you good to go?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, folks, here we go. So some of you might have heard like our behind the scenes version, which you can hear on Roach's channel. Okay, so what we have here is our spiral galaxy that we told you we were going to set up, and we have already talked through it. We're all kind of roughly in this area down here, not too far from this Crossroads Nebula, which is good. And we're looking at the layout of the hyperlanes, and I would say the initial impression is they look favorable-ish.
Yeah.
I like
do.
all the choke points. You see that one hyperlane on the west side of the galaxy?
Yeah.
It's like this one massive hyperlane.
Yeah, that's like what the heck,
Wow.
right?
That's kind of
Yeah,
funny.
That is one long jump.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no. Wow. What the hell?
Yeah,
I'm very close to the.
It traverses
hyperlane.
like 6 systems.
yeah. That's cool though. That's a good one to cut off. It cuts
I mean,
off
is
that whole
Is that like
outside.
is that a space freeway they made?
Yeah, pretty much.
The
Is it a-
Galaxy Autobahn?
You
Is
gotta
it
pay a toll road on that?
Is it a hyper lane? Oh, okay. All right. So let's
Get out.
let's do our initial research and stuff. Let's see. Oh, actually, we should probably talk a little bit about our government types too. I'm just gonna real quick show people my cool
Befittingly of me,
shrimp.
I am a military commissariat.
Ooh.
I can't believe you didn't take the roach, honestly.
Oh, I already have. I've already done a series as the Roachikins. If anybody wants to, everybody from basically who's not a part of my audience, I did a series as the Roachkins. They're the Roachkin quarantine zone. Because roaches don't like to be touched and they clean themselves. They don't like to have anything that's not a roach near them. So it's just this. It's just this empire that's just a quarantine. Nobody in, nobody out.
Nice.
And the ground troops just have flamethrowers. It's just a lot of flamethrowers.
Just purify.
Yep. Giant 8-foot tall cockroach with carapace an inch thick and a flamethrower.
That's a
Go to sleep at that at night.
What else would you need, honestly, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's see. How's everybody's initial setup? You feeling okay with it?
Yeah, I like my setup a lot, actually. I'm pretty happy with where I started. There's some pretty decent choke points around me. Actually, a lot of really good choke points.
So one of the first things that I think is probably the biggest change in the early game is that science ships have a whole lot of importance. Actually, they pretty much always do now, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but your regular
exploders.
Yeah, your regular ships used to, you could break up like your first couple of vets and send them out to kind of get some cursory information about the area. You can't even travel to another area until a science ship has cleared the way. So they have
because they have a new thing, explore now. Which you can
they can explore and they can survey. Survey is the old job and explore. They need to explore the system before anything can move to that system. If you have not explored that system, you cannot jump there. Period.
Yep.
Right.
That's interesting.
Right. And then I'm pulling down the more menu just to show people there are some changes here. So you've got planets and sections, you've got policies and edicts, factions, and then there's a new function called claims, which once we get closer into some warfare, we'll go about that, and we'll talk about that more in depth then. But
functions close to EU4's claiming system and things like that. Yeah. And you just kind of you're telling the galaxy that you have a claim on that system, which means you can press it in a war. Whereas if you don't, you can't, or at least it's more expensive, right?
And yeah, the way that you do claims and the way that you expand your territory just through the exploration process is, I think, more. You actually spend your influence stat more frequently, and I think on more important things than you did in the past. Like, it just makes more sense.
Well, because it's anything that's a monthly tick on influence has essentially been knocked out of the running, because all of your outposts and things like that used to be a drain on it are gone.
Right.
And also any like leadership, like your generals or governors, they just cost energy now. They don't cost influence. So like all those things. So a lot of the original things you spent influence on are gone, and it's been basically transferred to a new thing that you can use, which is used for.
They completely changed everything about that. I mean, right now there's no point on building a second science ship. There's no point on dividing the initial Corvette fleet to explore, because it's not working anymore. You cannot build a second science ship because you need 200 energy to hire a new scientist. Scientists are now hired by actually leaders in general. I hired based on energy, not on influence anymore. So influence is just used to expand your empire and on edicts, nothing more.
Which is nice though, because it makes edicts a lot more important, useful.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, just now I pick up the map, the stars right off the bat, because it makes my exploration very fast.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah,
already done
map
that.
The stars, boom, done. And then there's a new function here under this mini system, which is the fleet manager, and the fleet manager is super cool once you understand it. And I'm not that bright, so maybe it took me longer than maybe it will some of you, but it took me a little bit to figure out how to use it properly. But we will go over this again as we get more into it. But essentially you can set up your fleets, and then with a click of a button, you'll be able to either retrofit them, or there's a new function called reinforce. So you can you could finish a battle and then do one click, and all of your shipyards will go to work building them and send them straight to them, which is
awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You don't have to use this pop out either, because
No,
if
you
you
don't.
click the fleet, it's actually accessible now. There's
Yes.
the reinforce function, which is right next to the split fleet function now.
Basically, you build a template for your fleet, and if you lose any ships, you just click reinforce, and they're going to be automatically built on the closest shipyard and sent to your fleet.
Yeah, it was the coolest thing ever when they did that.
They just hit the spot with this one. It's way easier to manage your fleets now.
One of the other things that's new, folks, and is very different, and even after playing for 12 or 15 hours, forget, is that now your military production and your civilian production are separate. So your civilian production, if you click on your planet, any planet, you will have a spaceport automatically, and it can build a construction ship, a science ship, or a colony ship. That's all it does. Now, over here on the outlier bar, you see that we have a shipyard. You start with 1. Now, a shipyard is just a type of starport. Starport is the first upgrade. You get an outpost, and then the first upgrade to an outpost is a starport. Frontier outposts are no more. And you can see here we have a module section and we have a building section. The module section, right now you can see we have 1 shipyard, and then we have an open module where we could put something else. Likewise, on buildings, we could swap out crew quarters for something else, and we'll be doing that as we go along. It is now possible to equip multiple shipyards on one structure and actually simultaneously build 2, 3, 4 ships, whatever you want, depending on the size that's predicated on that particular station.
Fairly certain it also gives you a speed bonus on the build time.
It does.
Yes, and also there's one little thing. On wars, your starports are not going to be destroyed anymore. If you conquer them via wars, they're going to stay there. And if you lose the war, they're just going to be... the new owner is going to have them the way you left them behind. All that can be destroyed is defenses.
Is the defenses, the defenses will be lost. So,
but
they're forts from EU4.
Yeah, so even if you lost a war, you're not going to have to build the starports, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. There's no more. You just build your starport and it's yours until you lose it. But it cannot be destroyed anymore. That's a very good change. Again.
Can the components not be sold?
No, they just can be scrapped. I mean,
scrapped
if you
and swapped,
Yeah. And
so you can still take
anything.
over an enemy starport, scrap everything, leave it as trash.
No.
It as
You
No,
won't.
reason to.
It only transfers to your control after you take
you win the war.
system in the war.
Yeah.
If you have an unrestricted war and you have a planet killer, that every time you control a system, that system is yours. So if you do that, you're hurting yourself.
All right, I'm gonna unpause. What do we think? Just put it on fast for now.
Yeah.
Okay. Early game's always pretty slow, so
we'll get started here. And that's something else we'll mention up front too, is that the pace of the game overall is different. It is slower. So don't expect us to immediately jump into wars. As a matter of fact, we kind of have a 5-point plan, and the first point is we need to get to each other as soon as possible. Secondly, we need to identify where the choke points are. Third, we need to fortify said points. Fourth, we need to research and prepare. And then 5, we'll start looking for outliers or weak empires to take out. We're going to have to take small bites. The gameplay is very, very different than it was before. It honestly is a new game.
It's so different that I went from powerhouse player to losing the pirates in my first 2.0 game.
Oh, pirates have been made assholes now.
Yeah,
just because they never stop.
Yeah,
they
I got
just never
completely
stop
wiped
coming
by
up.
pirates.
Yeah.
I mean, just wiped. It caught me off guard, and I didn't even
As another
expand
thing-
properly. So yeah,
There's
Yeah,
another
and
thing,
they
just
did
because we
level up
haven't
with
said it
your
yet, is the way that influence and your borders now expand has been completely changed. It's not based on your
that's the
your
best
population
change.
or anything like that, or outposts. You have to build an outpost in a system to claim that system. So there's no more like jumping spiral arms that you can't actually get to. It's all you have to be there. You have to set it up and actually have a claim in the system to claim that system.
Yeah.
So
If
that
you
changes
guys
it up quite a bit.
If you guys are familiar with EVE Online, it's exactly how EVE Online works. To give somebody comparison, if you have an outpost in the system, that system is yours. Period.
as somebody who has 800
Never played EVE.
hours in EVE Online, I totally know what you're saying.
Yeah, that's why I'm mentioning. It's the only other game I know that uses the same system, and it's a great system. They nailed everything in this expansion. Oh, and also you were talking about the pirates before. If there are no unclaimed systems, if everything is controlled, the pirates are gone. Okay, from
it's like barbarians in Civilization. If you actually have visibility over the area, a pirate can't spawn.
No, that's not true. If you have visibility, they can spawn.
What I mean is, if you control it, even a regular outpost is enough.
Yeah, exactly. If there are no systems in the galaxy that have no outposts, the pirates cannot spawn anymore. Period.
I learned that painful lesson. I had expanded and I had closed off and I thought, oh, I'm perfectly safe, no problem. And then this giant pirate galleon starts destroying stuff like in the back part of my empire, and I'm like, what? It was an interesting learning experience.
It throws you off, you don't expect that kind of stuff, and then
I highly doubt it was a galleon, because I mean, how would it function?
It was though.
Yeah, galleon is the pirate titan.
3-masted, 100-gun.
No, but it was like 5,000 military power single ship. It was pretty awesome. It was a sight to see.
Anomaly detected.
Guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but in the old version of Stellaris, I might be wrong. You'd start by surveying your home system, wouldn't you?
That's auto-surveyed now.
It's auto-surveyed now.
Yeah. I was wondering that. I was like, why can't I survey all this? And I can already see all the resources everything has.
And you've got stations already built.
Yeah,
you should have started with at least one or two stations, which makes sense, because if you hit the ability, if you were a civilized race and you hit the ability to travel at the speed of light, then hopefully by then
you'd actually have a starport, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
I'm fairly certain we're traveling faster than the speed of light at this point.
I think so. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely a lot faster in terms of. But we won't have to.
Unless we're playing as the Hivers from Sword of the Stars.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yay, another one. Someone else.
Yeah, you guys, I obviously do whatever your plan is, but one of the things I found very useful is that since there's an open module slot on your initial starport, I go ahead and grab a trading hub for +4 energy credits.
That's a very good call. I do that every single time.
Yeah, that is a pretty good idea. One thing that I did, because I actually am playing a race that's supposed to grow very quickly and pop, and what I found out when I did the practice game was that food became a very big issue for me very quickly, and so sometimes I was dismantling the crew quarters because I'm not too worried so much. Yeah, and put the farm in its place because I'm not too worried about the -25% dock ship upkeep just yet.
That's a great call. I mean, who cares? They don't have any fleets, really.
Yeah, and that's if you're going to be playing a race that grows very quickly, because it's a little bit tougher to get food. It seems a little bit trickier to settle planets too. It's not as quick, at least, as it was.
Oh yeah, it's much slower. That's why the settlement time tech is a big deal now.
Yeah.
I think there's also a what is it, a tradition that gives you that. I think it's the expansion one. Gives you adoption cost plus 100% to colony development speed.
That's another discovery. That's a good point, Roach. That's another thing that Bruno and I and Sebouts were talking about the other day, was that it kind of makes more sense in 2.0 not to necessarily deep dive down one tree anymore, because there are some really, like, Harmony, Discovery, Prosperity, and Expansion all have really good openers. So instead of in the past, like, saying, oh, I'm going to double down on, like, Domination, I'm going to go all the way down the tree to get an Ascension perk, you're kind of better served by spreading it around when you start off.
You know what I found interesting too is, like, originally we had all kind of joked because the Discovery was kind of useless because you could have almost practically half. By the time you got your first Ascension perk, you could actually almost have, or your first actual pick with the Unity, you could have a lot of the galaxy explored because you have Corvettes going everywhere, and it just never seemed practical to take Discovery. But now
I'm trying to decide. Right, it's funny you should mention that. I'm trying to decide right now between Discovery and Harmony as the first pick. I think I'm going to go Harmony.
I picked Discovery.
As As you said that, I just picked Discovery. It was about.
I'm gonna take
that
Harmony 'cause I want
anomaly
the
fail
25%
risk
growth.
10% and that anomaly discovery chance plus 15% is amazing.
Yeah, I
yeah.
took Discovery too.
Yeah, it's-
All
You can get
right.
moderate. You can
All
get
right.
moderate
You
anomalies at
bastards convinced me
5%
fine.
failure rates.
Oh,
Fine.
Discovery and Harmony are the best ones. They are equally good. Depend if you want to build tall or if you want to build wide. That's the choice. If you want to keep in your corner of the galaxy, Harmony is better. If you want to expand, Discovery is better.
Funnily enough, they've actually, in my opinion, they've also nerfed one of the other ones that I always took, which was Supremacy.
Yeah.
Because Supremacy had the best adoption perk by, just plus 25% borders immediately. You just that's that's amazing. But now it's just it gives you starbase capacity, but that's not really a big deal in the early game.
Yep.
So it's kind of at this point not really that useful. And it's better to go for the non-killy traditions.
So the whole hyperlanes thing, remember I said we were talking about do we want 0.75 or 0.5? I just ran into the example of what I was talking about. I've got a 500 military power alien force that's keeping me from even exploring anything else right now.
Ooh.
Yep.
Is that a space amoeba? Because those move now.
I don't know what it was, honestly. I didn't stay long.
If it's a space amoebas migrate.
It's 532.
532.
That's probably amoeba.
Yeah, it'll probably move.
I mean, it's
because
fine.
in my personal game, I was boxed in on 3 sides with those, but by the time I got my fleet to there, they were gone. Then they had been moved to a slightly south of me, so they just kind of jump around.
Anybody got a colony ship out yet?
No, because I'm playing Gaia Planet, so I will be having one planet most of the time. Yeah, super tall. As I said, I want to see if it's viable.
I debated going for the Apocalyptic one because I like I like the flavor of it.
I went for that.
Yeah.
You started on a Tomb World? That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dog people, they nuke themselves.
Let's be honest, fox people. They're foxier.
Dogs.
Yeah.
I know they didn't really have a dog-looking kind of. I was looking for like Doberman-looking kind of alien race.
They should, they should have like a whole species of dogs. I'd play.
That's in a DLC.
Yeah.
Chinchilla Terrier.
Man's space best friend.
Attack of the Chihuahuas story pack. Man's best friend.
Or greatest enemy. That's going to be a trailer.
That's what I'm going with. You never know. They look cute on the outside.
I'd pay for that movie.
Well, okay, guys, but believe it or not, we're actually at time. So any closing thoughts on our first episode? I'm excited about this. I'm not excited about this being blocked off over here, but I'm excited about this.
I'm terrified because I get the impression that I'm completely on my own. Because you guys seem to be primarily on the west-hand side with, was it you, Roach, down kind of southwest, I think?
Up. No, I'm in northwest.
Who was southwest?
Galactic North? There's no cardinal directions in space.
Well, I mean, judging by the galaxy map with north being up.
Yeah, I'm on the bottom side.
If you're going to meta it, maybe.
Oh, so it's you, Vanguard.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm like the other end of the galaxy from Vanguard, with everybody else being kind of primarily west. So I'm a bit worried.
No, I'm near you. I'm east.
It's okay, Mickey. Don't worry.
I'm southeast.
I know, but I'm north.
Yeah, but I'm right up against the edge. If you're right up against the edge, I'm also right up against the edge.
That's
so clearly
I don't know, like 40 jumps away, maybe more.
So clearly, navigation is our expertise, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
we understand mapping very well. We're
How many furlongs are you from?
On the same map?
Mickey's playing an entirely different game. We're gonna go join him later.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get lost on my own home. I have to call my wife. Wife, help! I'm lost. I don't know my home records.
Survey complete.
Honey, that's just the fridge.
Yeah, point me to the fridge and I'm fine. Okay,
So yes, we're looking to end this episode now. We've gone a bit over time with the introduction, being as it is, we need to explain everything, go in detail about how, just look at the map, it's an example. So yeah, we will, I guess, see you guys next time. God, I'm really terrified for this. I don't know how this is going to turn out.
Thanks, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this first episode. You join us for more. Till next time, I'm Mal for Mickey, Sabouts, Vanguard, and Roach. There we go. All right. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.